How old trees grow. New leaves have yet to grow on the old tree. Does it remember the ones who planted it? Let us out. We've been through this. The general has declared a high alert to ensure human safety. No one is allowed to leave the city without permission. Turn back. You dare speak of human safety to me? We were guarding human long before you even picked up a stick, kiddo. In times like these, I think you need to think about the greater good. The greater good? Do you remember when a group of bandits infiltrated the city and injured innocent people in the process? It happened so suddenly, and the situation was so messy that you refused to lift a finger. So we had to take things into our own hands. We chased them hundreds of li and spent 3 days in the desert. We had to carry half our brothers back to the city, but we managed to drag the bandits along with us. Now our brothers lie dead out there, their bodies still rotting. And you're asking us to wait? Master Jing, we all know your story, and we have infinite respect for you. But General Zhou has decreed that while we are hunting a serious criminal, no one is to leave the city without his permission. His all-inspiring authority has me quaking. Tell that Zhou Zhanliao to come out here and face us. Impudence! Master Ming, I heard you shouting from across the city. These men are only following orders. Why do you have to be so hard on them? We just can't let them talk to us like this. You're venerable elders of our city. You fought many battles to defend human, even messengers through catastrophes. Our stability is thanks to your hard work. Even though the Lord Exorcist and the Grand Master are still present, you dare to flaunt your seniority as if it matters? Have you no heart? Good men need not remind the people of their past deeds. If you need to boast about it, then that goes to show how little it truly mattered. Go home and make no further trouble. I will ensure your fallen brothers are spoken for. Yes, Master. The blame lies with me. I neglected their discipline. We would never blame you. About those 4 brothers, you have my condolences. I'll take care of their families. There's no need to bother the Lord Exorcist. But since they died delivering a letter for human, I'd like to ask the Lord Exorcist his opinion on the situation. We have to focus on the assassin for now, but when we're done, the Lord Exorcist will absolutely dispatch troops to clear out the bandits. Right. You have to prioritize. That makes sense. I just want a word with the Lord Exorcist. I need a reply. Any kind of reply. To answer to those brothers. Once we are done with this, you are all welcome to the Sword Forge for drinks. Yixia, how's the situation on your end? Have the families of the victims been located? Actually, 2 of the 4 were living alone. As for the other 2, their families happened to be away from home, so we took it upon ourselves to barge in. It's a bit strange that all their homes look so normal on the inside. Could it be a coincidence that they all just happened to be out? A whole day has passed since we got the news of their deaths. Who goes there? You scared the life out of me. I just felt like someone was watching us. You could sense that even in this crowd. Let's continue this inside the inn. Ninicia, stay your steps. You notice, man? Just give me a moment. I'll have a few words with him. Alright. I didn't expect the monitor sensor of the Department of Discipline and Supervision to remember me. I think it's been 5 years since we last met. The timing of our meeting was a memorable one, but not very pleasant. Just official business. You and I both. You are also here to investigate the events that have transpired in Human, Envoy Lin. Can the monitor sensor offer any leads? No. At this time, I am not intervening in an official capacity. I'm merely acting as a former subordinate of the Lord Exorcist and as a subject of Yan, to apprehend the villains who disturb our people's peace. I must say, I'm a little surprised you aren't advising me to stay out of it, Monitor Sensor Taihe. I have no reason to dissuade you from your duties, Envoy Lin. Do you forgive me for prying, Envoy Lin? You have only just arrived in the city, so how exactly do you plan to investigate a case when you are not yet unfamiliar with the situation? I have my own means, of course. Don't you worry, Monitor Sensor Taihe. I have no doubt your means will prove more than adequate, Envoy Lin. You might as well make your words clear, Monitor Sensor Taihe. As I said, we are on official business, and nothing more than that. I merely offer a reminder, Envoy Lin. The enemy lies in the open, while we are hidden. But do be careful still. I will take my leave. I've seen that big guy before, in Shangshu. I think he was from the Department of Discipline and Supervision. Just how many Mandarins do you know? It's not like we're friends. We just have prior dealings. What's the difference? The difference is that you don't want to be friends with some people you have dealings with. Let's go. Dusk. The sun goes down quickly in early spring, and the weather is still a little cold. The old man fills the furnace with a handful of wood. The weak fire is not fit for forging or even heating. These days, the forge equipment runs on Originum, but the old man stubbornly keeps such a useless furnace here. While waiting for the fire to intensify, he picks up a broom and carefully sweeps up the sand that has accumulated in the courtyard overnight. Oh, I think I accidentally skipped my bed. leaving none of the crevices between the stone bricks untouched. Of course, the old man knows that it will only stay clean for a moment and will soon return to its sandy state. But he still toils to sweep the ground over and over again, as if hoping to catch a glimpse of a completely clean forge. These legs of mine still ache from the cold. Even the weather is getting warmer. It's about closing time. If it isn't urgent, why not come back tomorrow? Are you looking for someplace else, girl? This is a forge, not a clinic. I'm looking for a place mentioned in a story. You're hurt too bad to be running out of the city like this. I hate to say it, but the city is under high alert right now, and a girl with a knife wound has shown up on my doorstep. Got a point, kinda sus. It'll be trouble for me if I don't take her into the authorities. The last thing I want is more trouble, so I'd better get her to explain where she came from. You were the one called Meng Tieyi? It means something that you know the name, young as you are, but I don't recognize you at all. Shifu told me there's a forge hidden here in the Pneumatic City, and the owner of the forge is a skilled swordsmith. He can make all kinds of weapons and armor, and also craft toys for the children of the city. I can't recall anyone who would talk about this old man like that. In the yard of the forge lies a pagoda tree, transplanted by the both of you from a faraway place. The old man can't help but look back. In the corner of the yard stands a pagoda tree, leaves swaying slightly against the evening wind. Spring comes late in the north, and new leaves have yet to grow on the branches. Now, can we say that the battle is truly over? We've suffered a number of casualties, but for the next 20 years at least, these bandits will be cowed. I've heard tales from long ago, of expeditions celebrating their triumphs by carving out their achievements on the furthest mountains they could see. Perhaps today we are worthy of that legacy. Not a bad idea. Well, we have only sand around us, and nothing solid on which to write. There is a lone tree here, so why not? Good. Let's go with that. Good? This wizard tree is about to crumble to dust, and you still want to torment it? Do you have an alternative then? What's the point of engraving your exploits on a fixed point, when we live in a nomadic city that regularly travels thousands of li? Why not we take this tree back and replant it in human? Our story will be remembered by the tree, if it manages to take root in the city, even for just a day. Claps once. Very well, not a bad idea at all. Did you get heat stroke from being out here too long? We're at least 100 li from human. Are you planning to carry the tree all the way back there? Why not? We carried so much food and water on the way here, and now it's all gone. So what's wrong with bringing an extra tree on our way back? Bro's trying to carry a tree back. General Zo, Tie, please lend me a hand. Careful not to damage the roots. You called her Shifu. Shifu saved mine and my family's lives out in the wilderness and taught us how to live among the settled. What is your name? Jieyin. If I'm not mistaken, you're Nanasa. You have such a refined name. Shifu gave it to me. No wonder. Yundong, oh my god, Yundong Chanli Jiezai Shi Shanqing? Bro, a classic poem. The cloud floats for 1,000 li until it finally settles upon a mountaintop. She wished for you to find a home, like a cloud. Shifu recited it better than you, but the meaning is the same. I have no doubt. Come to think of it, she gave the Grand Master his name as well. That fickle-minded, heartless man. Ooh, she don't like him. What's this then? Hold on, that sword you're carrying. You stole the Grand Master's sword? I will bring it to Shifu's grave as an offering. The wind whips up the leaves, rustling the old pagoda tree. The fire in the furnace has died down, and the sky grown dark, but the old man does not move. The girl can't see his expression clearly. She's dead? Oh, he didn't know. Yes, Shifu's illness was very serious. Her last wish was to look upon this sword one last time, so I must deliver it to her. Do you want it too? Certainly not. Human is a very dangerous place to be right now. I know that with this sword on me, all the soldiers will be hunting for me. No, what I'm saying is, the city will become even more dangerous in the near future. It's about to face a test. But before that, I should at least try to get you out. Your Shifu is waiting for you, as are all of us. But how did you get out of the city? Oh, but how did you get out of the city? I didn't think about it when I came in. They sealed the gates, so I tried to force my way through, and was injured in the process. The wind picks up. A handful of fine sand flies into the old man's face, and into the gap of time that has gone by. It is soft, moist from the twilight hours of early spring. The old man kneads the sand in his fingers. I have an idea. Hey, welcome back. What's the word? No doctor or staff in the clinic, just some princely-looking official who asked me what I was doing. And what did you tell him? Just what you told me. Last night I hurried over with a family member in tow who suffered a concussion when our store shelves collapsed. We forgot to bring money for the bill, so I came back today to make the payment. The nobleman left after asking me the question. I don't get it. Here's your money back since I never had to pay anyone. Just keep it. Take it as a reimbursement for your hard work. It's so strange. Is humans' tourist season that lucrative? I've heard of Mr. Lee's skill, but to even pull one over on the young like that. That's just any kid. That's not just any kid. He's a Sui regulator candle holder. I wouldn't dare lie to him. Just helping him rule out a wrong answer. As for Mr. Lin, what are you doing here? Just out for a stroll. We're in Lungmen Park tonight. If we were in Lungmen Park right now, I'd believe it. How are things coming along for you, Mr. Lee? It's a little strange. I haven't been able to figure out exactly what the job is you've asked me to do. But the one I've been looking for might be able to clue me in. That's good to hear. You've tasked me with the job, but you still look uneasy. Why not take matters into your own hands? Any action I take would affect Wei Yanwu's reputation. I also want to just watch from the sidelines and see how she does things. Now that's the Mr. Lin I know. This is an important moment, but there's still ample time to make a probing move. A beard well lathered is already half shaved. I have trust in you as well, Mr. Lee. Wei Yanwu has often lamented your decision not to stay with the LGD. Let's not talk about that. Wei Yanwu doesn't let go of somebody if he's decided they're useful to him. Speaking of which, are you still determined to have your girl Yuxia take over your work? That's not for me to decide. If she wants to stay, Lungmen will have a place for her. If she wants to leave, Lungmen won't trouble her. I would like you to take care of her, no matter what path she takes, Mr. Lee. It's an honor to have your trust, Mr. Lin. If there's anything I can do to help out, I'll give it my all. Doze. Now then, time to stop bothering you and continue my stroll. Oh, Bai Tianpei. He's a father too. Did you see the citywide notice issued by the patrol battalion on your way here? According to the Imperial Astronomical Bureau's latest calculations, Yumin needs to adjust course to avoid a catastrophe. Starting tomorrow, at the hour of Shen, the city will begin to slow down. By around the hour of view, it will have dropped to its lowest speed and will pick up once again once the course has corrected. Your chances lies within that time frame. But if the city slows down, won't the gates be even more closely guarded? Dear girl, just take a good look around you before entering human. A desert spanning thousands of li, with only misfortune and the occasional traveler to meet. But a part of Yanni's territory still, from the very beginning. Yumin was designed as a military fortress to guard the north, which is why the city has sand sluices and the dams on the outer wall, unlike conventional nomadic cities. It is said that Atumu Tianxi took inspiration from the water wheels in the Jiangnan waterways and fitted it onto this border city. The base of the city sinks into the sand, but the huge dams powered by arts are always running to disperse the sand and remove all forms of resistance. Thanks to these sand sluices, the city of Yumin is able to move flexibly across the vast desert and adapt to any situation. Like a river current moves with the tide, a spectacular sight to behold. Normally, the sand sluice would never serve as a path for people to work on. Work on? If one jumps into the sand sluice, he can only expect to be crushed by the turbines or suffocate under the rolling yellow sand. So tomorrow at the hour of view, when Yumin is traveling at its lowest speed, the flow of sand through the sluices will also be slowed. But at least there's a ghost of a chance in this idea. I'll do it. I need to get out of the city by any means. But what about your wounds? I'll manage. I went to a clinic earlier. Good. It's just that security around the sand sluice is usually lax, but I'm not sure if things have changed now with the city under high alert. On my way here, I heard the general of the city is personally leading the defense of the keep. It seems to meet or not to meet. That was the question. But it seems the answer is meet. You're going out? We have to be quick. I need to go scout the surroundings. There are also some preparations to be made. I'm going to leave the city via the sand sluices. I want your clothes signed on the door while I'm out, so make use of the time to recuperate. I'll come back to fetch you. Whatever. Yeah. Head up to my room first. I'll be there in a minute. Any news? Not long after you left, some people in Smith's clothes showed up, moved their goods and headed someplace else. I tried to follow them, but they seemed to be in our line of work. They realized someone was tailing them and quickly shook me off their trail. I returned to the warehouse to take another look. It had been cleared out completely. I don't know what these people are hiding, but it's clear there's something strange going on. Your intuition was spot on. There's something off about that sword forge. I'm afraid we've already set the enemy on alert, and we've yet to find our key evidence. The dark clouds over the city get thicker every day, while the sand in the winds is also denser. The situation is urgent. Since we have our suspects, we can try some things out. I see there. Go to the barracks and fetch something for me. The deed is still not done. There was some serious kung fu on both sides, so we had no chance to strike. Leave that young candle holder to his own devices. He won't affect our plans. But the woman from the Lungman was never accounted for, and she's still after us. What a pain. We'll keep an eye on things and make a move when the time is right. No. After these two clashes, the Mandarins will definitely be on high alert. So we have to be more cautious. I can let the women live for another 2 days, but our organization can leave no clues. Right. Then what do we do now? Just wait. It won't be long before he gives us fresh orders. The mounts, seas, and all in between shall be our masters. They've stolen the land without even knowing it. The people will pay for their arrogance. Soon. And who might you be waiting for? Attempted assassination of a court official and disturbing the people's peace. Your conduct befouls the laws of Great Yan. It's like they mean nothing to you. You have two options. Lay down your arms and come with me, or I bring you in. You were followed. It's the same man from before. He turned the tables on you. Considering his skill, it's no surprise you couldn't do anything about it. But in the end, it was still you who led this man here. Do you understand? Yes. Good. Now, we'll get rid of him first, and then decide how to deal with you. You dare! I mean, what did you expect? Them to give him a cup of tea? Late as it is, you're still awake. You must be vigilant, lest something like yesterday's incident happens again. Surely the Grand Master has not invited me out so late to enjoy the scenery. It's auspicious for Lord Wei to stand here with us at such a crucial moment. Indeed, it would have been best to take a stroll through the city of Yumen and enjoy its scenery. The Lord Exorcist's decision naturally comes after careful consideration. Perhaps this is not for me to say, but the Lord Exorcist's responsibilities reach far beyond the safety and security of Yumen. The consequences of just one mishap are grave enough that the word trust no longer carries much weight. Indeed, it is so. General Zoe and I have worked together for decades, without relying on trust. I hope you understand. Have I ever expressed any dissatisfaction? Speaking of which, we have yet to properly catch up on each other's affairs. The last time I came to Yumen was 5 years ago, and the time before that was 10, but both were hectic visits. In our last meeting, let me think. We were in the capital. Yes. The year you left the capital, I had happened to be there to report on my work. I didn't expect you to remember something from so long ago. Do you not remember it, Lord Wei? I don't recall what year it was exactly, but my memories tell me it was also spring then. Late spring, a little later than the current season. That's it. At the time, you still wielded a sword. And you were not yet called Wei? There was much scenery to enjoy, and plenty of kung fu spectacles too. I have lived for so long, there are not many who leave a true impression. But even now, as I evaluate the various styles of kung fu, I still think of Qi Zhao's ultimate move. I'm honored to win such a praise from the Grand Master of Kung Fu. That night seemed like it was set to rain, the weather stifling, the clouds looming low. I was on the keep, from far away, but even I saw the light in the direction of the post house. The sky abruptly broke with the chill of a sword, a sharp and decisive style of swordsmanship. A sword of Stratus Rent once stand fast. Afterwards, Lord Wei must have left the city. In the end, the rain did not fall. It was a very long time ago, but I wonder why you're bringing this up. Tower stands high, and the two men's clothes rustle in the breeze. Even though it is a windless night, as far as the eye can see, human sentries and buildings stretch on without end. Only through the wind, on the highest of points, can one clearly perceive that the city is moving at a high speed. There is treachery in the court, and minds can be unpredictable. Surely, no one understands this better than you. But I also believe that whose mind is consumed by ambition and cunning could never wield that style of swordsmanship. Here's a matter that I would like to help you with. Oh, you to help with, not help you with. I dare not refuse a request from the Grandmaster himself. I would ask you to trust human. Just this once. You and the Lord Exorcist are alike, shouldering the peace of Yan. There are many matters of concern, but in the end, human is unlike Lungman. Human was built on strengths of arms, and most of the people here practice Kung Fu. These people have great passion, but lack strategic thinking. Regardless, everyone here acts for this country and its people. There is nothing wrong with hating evil as an enemy. I only fear that simple-minded people will be manipulated without their knowing. General Zhou has agreed to a time limit of 3 days. Within these 3 days, you will get your answer. Until then, I hope you will set your grievances with Lord Exorcist aside and stay your hand. A guest must comply with his host, and the Lord Exorcist has asked me to wait in these barracks at ease. I simply wish to share his burden, but there is really nothing I can do. I recall that Envoy Lin of Lungman from a few days past is indeed shrewd and incapable, solving several cases cleanly in just a few days' work. I imagine there must be several talents like her in your employ. You might be overthinking the situation. Whether the Grand Tutor, the Lord Exorcist, or Wei Yenwu, every move is calculated for the safety of the people and prosperity of the country. There should be no conflict between us. But looking back over the few millennia, there have been those who share a goal, but a number of them inevitably break and turn against each other. Yes? Indeed, you are most qualified to speak of this. Very well, for your sake, I'll agree to your request. You have my thanks, Lord Wei. The night is no longer young. I suggest you retire. Oh, but there is another thing I have yet to mention. Cloud-spitting sword is not actually Qi Zhao's ultimate move. Oh, he said we got cooler shit. Don't think you saw it yet. Repressed gasping. Now, you still hold the option to surrender. Choose that option, or you will never stand again. Bro, he's brutal. Ugh. Right now, it is merely at your waist. Move again and the dirt will bury you up to your shoulders. 3 more of you lie in hiding in the alley on the left and 2 more in the eaves on the right. Your actions were to draw out my weakness and create an opportunity for an ambush. But you will not get such a chance. I admit, I have underestimated your strengths. It's rare for one to be proficient in both Kung Fu and original arts. You are unworthy to comment on my Kung Fu. Yesterday, Envoy Lin of the LGD fended off an attack while returning to the city, and was followed today with errant intent. Earlier, a Sui regulator Candleholder met an assassin in the city center. These acts were most probably all you're doing, correct? To intercept and kill a catastrophe messenger, to steal catastrophe data. Just what are the Shanghai Zone planning in human? Who exactly is behind you? You'd better check who's behind you first. What? Thank you very much for saving my life. I'm sorry for all that. You shouldn't be wasting your time here. The Lungmanite woman investigated the warehouse at the Sword Forge. She's making a lot of trouble. If you're so worried about trouble, why not go directly to the only variable that can sway the whole situation? The old man at the Sword Forge. Go find him. Let the catastrophe data disappear along with his body. Understood. Master, look out! He shouldn't be able to stand. Rest. The ground suddenly sinks beneath them. As if charged with vitality, the raised earth and rocks surround everyone in an instant. Master, this man is not to be underestimated. A cold light flashes for just a moment. A man falls to the ground, earth and rock unmoving. The block is dead silent. Waste of time and boring beyond comprehension. Yusha, what took you so long? I happened to meet an acquaintance, so I took the chance to say hello. You're a Lungmanite, and yet you seem to know plenty of people in human. Well, that's enough talking. Let's piece together the information we gathered and see if we can figure anything out. I didn't get to finish that conversation on the street. What progress have you made on your end? Miss Du, what kind of person owns the Sword Forge? You mean Uncle Meng? Yes. He's an old friend of my father's. And when he was still in business? Oh, from when he was still in business. His kung fu is renowned. But he's good at talking too. And every martial artist in human trusts him. I'm not familiar with human, so Jingyu Logistics being able to operate here is all thanks to him. Does this stuff have anything to do with Uncle Meng? Just wondering. If you have something to say, get to the point already. I've had a suspicion about this band of thieves causing chaos in the city, stowed away with the supplies smuggled from Lungmen. I've been on the smuggler's trail that led me to the Sword Forge's warehouse. So, what did you find? The warehouse had only iron billets and forge fuel. All the materials you would need for a forge. What was strange was the warehouse guard. He had an unusual sunburn around his neck. Looked like a mark from wearing special protective equipment. As I understand it, the catastrophe survey teams dispatched by the Imperial Astronomical Bureau trucked to the desert for long periods of time. And they wear a standardized mask for protection against the wind and sun. That sunburn wasn't faded, and the Imperial Astronomical Bureau has only dispatched that one team lately. So you're saying there's something suspicious about the team and that they're connected to Uncle Meng? I'm trying to get us on the same page with the facts I found. Yumin has just returned from the depths of the deserts, where the sunlight can be intense and sunburns are common among the city residents. Is that one little thing all you've got to make you suspicious? Do you recognize this object? Where did you find this? The warehouse. I found it lying in a corner. It seemed unique and was standing out from the piles of iron billets and fuel. This is a Jingyu Logistics armband that I designed myself. The red armband is inlaid with gold trim, as well as a Shangshu style embroidery of twin lines flowing through the pattern of 5-pointed stars, symbolizing auspicious and smooth trade routes. The signifiers of luck and peace are dyed a disturbing ochre red, and the stains of yellow sand make it molted and old. Only the kids who followed me to Yumin from Shangshu would have this. The cheese also. If what befell the messenger team happened outside Yumin, then this shouldn't have made it into the city at all. Are the cheese still alive? If they are, then where are they hiding? No. He's holding them and keeping them from showing themselves. Uncle Meng? But doesn't he have 4 men he knows on the team? What's going on? Miss Du, let's not just jump to conclusions just yet. We need to calmly analyze that. If I can't figure it out, then I might as well stop thinking. I'll just head to the Sword Forge and get my answer. Oop. Miss Du. Yusha. I saw a tourist dressed like a Lungmanite downstairs earlier. Probably one of your men. He came to pass you something, right? That armband was evidence brought back from where the messenger team was intercepted and killed outside the city. You're using Miss Du. We have a lot of clues pointing us towards the Sword Forge right now. So we need to probe it a little. If the man is innocent, then we've ruled out a decent possibility. And she will also feel at ease. There's really something up with the Sword Forge. Won't you have put her in danger? She's certainly not the only one in danger here in Yumin. Yusha. I know you have your responsibilities, and maybe this is how you've always done things. I'm not about to argue with you over what's right or wrong, but I can't agree with your approach. I have to go help her. Lord Zul. What happened? The tall Forte lies on the hospital bed. His visage pale, he's barely breathing. In Zul's memories, Taihe was always like a mountain. This mountain stood beside his father and himself. Unshakable. What sort of force could break this mountain? Zul has never considered such a possibility. Monitor Sensor Taihe was brought to a military camp by 2 civilians not long ago. Tell me his condition first. The medics say they've managed to save his life. But perhaps only his life. Monitor Sensor Taihe has suffered multiple external injuries. But what's more serious is the damage to his organs. He has suffered massive internal bleeding. If he were an ordinary man, I'm afraid he would have already. Uncle Taihe shouldn't have been involved in this. He was helping me under the table. Where is father? The general is guarding the outer city wall. I've also notified the general, and there were only 4 words in his reply. Stay at your post. Where are the ones who brought Uncle Taihe here? Tell me the truth. We just saw the Forte dressed in Mandarin clothes, lying by the roadside. We have no idea what happened, but we figured we should bring him over here. The city is under high alert right now. What were you doing out so late at night? We had trouble sleeping, so we went for a walk. Would have thought there would have been someone lying in the roadside. As soon as we went out. Terrifying. So you live in the area, but heard nothing strange? Nothing. Where did you find the wounded? In the south of the city, near the Sword Forge's alley. The Sword Forge. Sorry. Can I go home now? No. Your testimony is unclear, so as a witness, you can't leave just yet. Well... Millennium. Present. I'm moving out. Gather your team. Search the Sword Forge. Sir, the general's orders were to stick to our posts. Father ordered me to hunt down the assassin and locate the sword in 3 days to restore peace in Yumen. Even with his strengths, Monitor Sensor Taihe has been gravely injured. This surely has some link to the Pheromone followers. Going to the scene of the crime to find the truth and arrest the culprit. Is that not sticking to my post? Go. Yes, sir.